are your leaders, of course, heading into match number 2 after a fantastic opening day win. But who's going to be in charge this coming weekend? We're going to take a little look at match number 2, and it's coming at you next. That's right, folks. Babbles giving a prediction video today. We look forward to match number 2 in this season's championship, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe and bang up today. All things championship related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one roof, of course. Yes, it picks up a bit of pace, doesn't it? Championship, of course, as we look forward to the second game of the season. Of course, if you were home last week, you're guaranteed to be away this week. Of course, the returning championship will provide a bit of spice. Who's going to be in charge? Of course, we'll take a look at it, all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout, of course, to my VIPs. They are the patrons indeed. But anyway, let's get into the deep end. And of course, take a look at what we're on about. We're on about this. That's right. It is the championship, and it is coming at you right here, right now. Let's take a look at, of course, how we all got on with the Pickaroos. There I am, kicking it off with the top of the shop there. Of course, some Huddersfield, who are absolutely dog shy to get some freaks there. 1-0 win in the end for Burnley on the road. Big win for them. 2-1 win for me. Shocker Rooney. I actually went with a 2-0 win for Rovers over QPR. We won 1-0. Happy days. Meanwhile, Blackpool with a 1-0 win over Reading as well in the ex-Rovers Gaffer derby. I went with the draw myself. Cardiff, big win over Norwich City there. 1-0 win for them. 2-1 the other way for me. Millwall, big win over Stoke. Got the one bang on point. Meanwhile, Hull City, of course, big winners over Bristol City. 2-1 win for them. 1-0 was my eyes. Luton Town against Birmingham. 3-0 was 3-1 was my pick. 0-0 was the final score. Rotherham with a draw against Swansea. I got the one bang on point. Wigan, of course, drew with Preston North End. Borough with a draw against West Brom. Bit of a shit show there in the Mowbray derby there. Sunderland draw against Coventry City as well. Who thought about that? And then, of course, Watford did beat Sheffield United. Not 4-1, just the 1-0. But, of course, take from that from what you will. This is, of course, the table as it stands right now. Millwall lead the charge with Hull City breathing down next. The Freaks are right up there in third, but, of course, the Sexy Bastards are up there in fourth. That is Blackburn Rovers. We are unbeaten, of course, for now, but, of course, a tricky game right around the corner with Swansea. Down the foot of the table is Stoke, Sheffield United and Norwich City. Let's end the count, guys. Let's end the bloody count. Send their bad boys down to League One. Meanwhile, what's been going on the Super Brew then, shall we? This is, of course, the latest rankings for the Super Brew. Thank you very, very much for all of you guys participating. We have 43 of you so far. There's still plenty of time, and of course, if you could see the difference, but from one match day, Sheffield with 1.5 points. Unfortunately, you are the wooden spoon right now, with the leader currently on 20 points. The amount of points you could pick up, we're going to be in the thousands, guys. We're going to be in the thousands at the end of this, but it's all there for your leisure. But let's have a quick rundown here. So a couple of familiar names. Hansworth up there with just 4 points, not a great start. Neither has Iman Hussein. Tom Stainer with a stinker. Scroll forward. First 7-7, of course, is up there with 7.5 points. I'm around about mid-table, about 10th. 10 points, not great either. Ultra with 11, but Alex Weller running away with it, 20 points. How's he done that? Well, he's picked up a couple of slammers there, exact points, so that means he's got the scoreline right. Should we actually have a quick look at his scores? Can we do that? I don't know. We're still figuring it all out. But it is free to enter, and I'm going to give you the details about it in just a second. But of course, it is early days. Only match number 1, so he could have a shitter this weekend. And again, this is just the round leaderboard. And of course, next weekend we'll have a round, and then we'll have an actual master league. This is, of course, the link if you want to get involved. Like I said, it's free to enter, still can get involved, and still can become winner at the end of it. Of course, you just have a 20-point deficit, but you can do this. Yeah, just get involved. Free to enter, /EFL Champ, and then I'll see your name in lights next weekend. But anyway, moving forward to match day number 2, no rest for the wicked, of course, as we look forward to a brand new, continue a brand new season with the second games of the season. Going to jump in the deep end with the first one, which will be Birmingham up against Huddersfield. Back-to-back Friday games for Huddersfield. Looking, of course, to respond to the shit show that was Burnley last time around. Now, these two sides have played each other 31 times since 1985. 10 wins for Birmingham, 9 wins for Huddersfield, and 12 draws, of course. Birmingham, though, just 1 win and 6 of them, 33% form for them. That's John Eustace's boys up against Danny Schofield, of course. Both new managers at the helm, of course, both not with the greatest starts in the world. Huddersfield, though, 42% form for them, winning 2 out of the last 6 as well. Meanwhile, they have played each other 31 times. 2-0 win was the biggest win for Birmingham. 3-0 win was the biggest win for Huddersfield. In fact, the Brommies have scored 31 goals compared to Huddersfield's 36. Works out around about 1.16 goals a game for Huddersfield compared to the 1 goal a game for Birmingham. Last time played at St Andrews was a 2-0 win for Huddersfield. That was back in February 2022. Birmingham just 1 win in 6 games against Huddersfield. That was at St Andrews back in October 2020. Huddersfield opened up with that 1-0 loss to Burnley. And of course, Birmingham with a 0-0 draw against Luton. So both sides yet to score their first goal of the campaign. The odds, though, 6-4 is your Birmingham on this one. 9-4 is your draw. And we've got 90-10 is your Huddersfield. Of course, yeah, nobody backing Huddersfield right now. They looked a bit shit against Burnley. I've gone with the Birmingham win here. So a first win on the docks for John Eustace's boys, who has been highly tipped to be a good manager. So we'll see how he does here at Birmingham. Meanwhile, Norwich City up against Wigan. It's the early kickoff on Saturday, August the 6th at Carrow Road. Now, these two sides have played each other 12 times, 2003, 5 wins for Norwich, 2 wins for Wigan, and 5 draws. Of course, Norwich, though, 3 defeats on the spin, 50% form for them. Up against the Wigan side, unbeaten in the last 6, 83% form for them, and moving forward. The biggest win for Norwich, 2-0 win. The biggest win for Wigan, 1-0 win as well. In fact, Wigan scored 10 goals compared to Norwich's 14, works out around about 1.17 goals a game compared to 0.83 by Wigan. Last time played at Carrow Road, it was a 1-0 win back in September 2018. It was in the Championship, of course, and Norwich unbeaten against Wigan over the last 4 occasions, pick up a couple of wins and a couple of draws as well. Last time around, the odds here. Actually, I did miss out the last time around. Of course, last time around, Norwich did lose to Cardiff. Wigan with a draw against Preston. The odds, though, for this one, 20-13 on is your Norwich, and this one, 11-4 is your draw, 90-4 is your Wigan on this. I'm backing, of course, Norwich to get them off to a flyer here at long last after a bit of a stuttered start against Cardiff. Bristol City against Sunderland, of course, over at Thrashton Gate. Now, these two sides have played each other 8 times in 3, 2 wins apiece, and 4 draws. Of course, Bristol City, though, coming into this winning 4 of the last 6, 67% form up against Sunderland side, who picked up 1 win over the last 6 games as well, 33% form for them moving forward. Of course, the biggest win for Bristol City over Sunderland, 2-0 win, and that scoreline is reversed with Sunderland's biggest win over the Robins as well. In fact, they both scored 8 goals against each other, works out around about 1 point goal a game. Last time around, over at Thrashton Gate was back in February 2018 in the Championship. It was a 3-3 draw, of course. Bristol City, of course, just 1 defeat against Sunderland over the last 4. They come into this on the back of that 2-1 loss to Hull. Sunderland with a draw at home to Coventry, bit of a stuttered start for them as well. 6-4 is your Bristol City, 50-8 is your Sunderland, 9-4 is your draw. 1-0 win for me for Bristol City on this one. Sunderland, not the greatest start to their Championship return. Moving on to the Freakazoids. It is the 6-fingered banjo playing nutcases. It is Burnley, that's right, of course, managed by Vincent Company, up against Nathan Jones's shithousing Luton. Let's see them at their shithousing best. Or ramp it up, Luton. Of course, played each other 6 times in 1994, 4 wins for the Freakazoids, nothing for Luton, and 2 draws as well. Back-to-back wins for Burnley heading into this, 42% form, up against the Luton Town side, who are unbeaten in the last 5, pick up 3 wins and a couple of draws as well. Biggest win for Burnley over Luton was a 2-0 win. In fact, they scored 9 goals compared to Luton's 4 over the course of those 6 games, works out around about 1.5 goals a game compared to the 0.67 goals by Luton Town. Moving on, of course, last time played each other at Turdmore was a 0-0 draw. That was back in March 2007. We'll take a repeat of that. However, Luton haven't scored a goal against Luton in back-to-back games. In fact, last time they scored was at Turdmore back in April 2006, way back when. So it's been a long, long time. Of course, Luton opened up with a 0-0 draw against Birmingham. Of course, Burnley with a 1-0 win over Huddersfield Town. Of course, both sides yet to concede a goal. On the odds on this one, 4-3 on is your Burnley, 11-4 is your draw, and 50-4 is your Luton Town. Of course, Burnley did look good against Luton. I do think they've started well, and they'll continue their fantastic start with a 2-1 win for Luton. But I hope I'm bloody wrong. Moving forward, it is, of course, Reading, it is Cardiff, it is at the Matchday, that's right, coming at you on Saturday as well. Played 34 times since 2003, 13 wins for Reading, 8 wins for Cardiff, and 13 draws. Reading, though, come into this just 1 win and 6, 25% form for them, up against the Cardiff side, unbeaten in the last 7 games, picked up 5 wins of the last 6 games, so he's looking very good right now, Steve Morrison's boys. Of course, biggest win for Reading over Cardiff, 5-1 win, the biggest win the other way, a 2-0 win for Cardiff City. In fact, Cardiff have scored just 43 goals compared to Reading's 55 over the course of those 34 matches, works out around about 1.62 goals a game compared to Cardiff's 1.26. Moving forward, though, Reading did lose to Cardiff last time around at the Matchday back in April 2022. The home side hasn't won this game in a long, long time. In fact, the last time the home side won was when Reading beat Cardiff at the Matchday back in August 2019. Reading, though, with a 1-0 loss against Blackpool on opening day. Cardiff with a 1-0 win over Norwich on opening day. Looking at the odds on this one then, 6-4 is your Reading, 9-4 is your draw, 90-10 is your Cardiff City. Back in a 1-0 win for Reading on this one. What am I thinking? What am I bloody thinking? Moving on, we've got Preston North End. Of course, they're going to be taking on Hull City. That's right, coming at you at Deepdale on August the 6th. Played each other 19 times, done 5-9 was to Preston, 8 was to Hull, and 2 draws as well. Preston, no, just 1 defeat the past 4 for them, 58% form up against the Hull City side, winning 4 of the last 6 games. Biggest win for Preston over Hull, 3-0 win. The biggest win the other way, 4-0 win. Preston have scored just 27 goals compared to Hull's 32 in this fixture. Works out about 1.42 goals a game compared to the 1.68 by Hull. Moving on. Last time around, at Deepdale was a 4-1 win for Hull back in August 2021. That was on opening day as well, even though this is a second match of the season. Hull with a 2-1 win over Bristol City at the Kazam. Preston with a away day point against Wigan on opening day as well. Moving on to the odds here, we've got what we got going on. Preston 2019 on for the victory, 65 is your away win, and 12-5 is your draw. 2-1 win for me for Preston on this one. 2, of course, continue the unbeaten start. QPR looking to bounce back, of course, from the defeat to Rovers up against Middlesbrough at Loftus Road. It's the Neil Warnock Derby, version 1. 22 times they played each other since 1995, 9 wins apiece and 4 draws, of course. Back-to-back defeats though for QPR heading into this, 58% form up against Middlesbrough, also on 58% form, who have just won 3 games of the last 6. Biggest win for QPR over Middlesbrough, 5-0 win, the biggest win in the way, 5-1 win. QPR scored 35 goals compared to Middlesbrough 34 over the course of the 22 games, works out around about 1.59 goals a game compared to the 1.55 by Middlesbrough. Last time around over at Loftus Road, it was a 2-2 draw back in February 2022, and of course Middlesbrough opened up with a 1-1 draw against West Brom. QPR did lose to Rovers on opening day. Looking at the odds on this one, with QPR 9-5 for the victory, 6-4 is your Middlesbrough, and 12-5 is your draw. QPR looked a little bit toothless, I think, going forward. Middlesbrough got money, been spending, and I think they'll be buoyed on from the point against West Brom. So 2-0 win for me on this one. The Blades up against Millwall, of course, table toppers at the moment, of course, at Bramall Lane. 27 times they played each other since 1994. 10 wins for the Blades, 12 wins for the Lions, 5 draws, of course. Sheffield United won 3, lost 3 over the last 6, 50% form. Meanwhile, Millwall coming to just 1 defeat at the past 6 games for them, 75% form moving forward. Biggest win for Sheffield United over Millwall, 4-0 win. The biggest win in the way, a 3-1 win. Sheffield United scored 35 goals compared to Millwall's 33 over the course of the 27 games. Works out around about 1.3 goals a game compared to the 1.22 for Millwall. Last time I played at Sheffield United at Bramall Lane was a 2-1 win for Millwall. In fact, Millwall back-to-back wins for them over Sheffield United last season. Of course, 1-0 win at home, 2-1 win on the road. Millwall with a 2-0 win over Stoke last time around. Sheffield United with a 1-0 loss to Watford as well. The odds on this one, 5-4 on is your Sheffield United, 5-2 is your 50-4 is your Millwall here. 2-1 win for the Blades here, bounce back ability, of course, and getting the first 3 points on the docket. Stoke City up against Blackpool, coming at you at the Bet365, or what do they call it these days? It is the Bet365. Played the 8 times 2007, 4 wins for Stoke, 2 wins for Blackpool, and 2 draws as well. Stoke, though, just 1 win in the last 6, 25% form up against Blackpool side, 1-3 and lost 3 over the last 6. That's 50% form for them as well. Both sides, biggest win over each other, just the 1-0 win. In fact, 14 goals scored by Stoke over Blackpool over the course of those 8 games, compared to the 12 goals by the Tangerines over Stoke. 1.75 goals a game for Stoke on average, 1.5 for Blackpool heading into this. Last round, though, at the Bet365 was 1-0 win for Blackpool back in March 2022. It was in the Championship. It was last season, but that was under Critchley, wasn't it? Of course, Blackpool opened up with, I can't remember now, let me have a look, with the win over Reading. That's right, 1-0 win for them. Stoke did lose to Millwall in the Gary Rowett derby, I believe. Moving on, of course, the odds 11-10 is your Stoke, 12-5 is your 30-5 is your away win here. 2-0 win for Stoke on this one, of course. First win of the season for them, moving up the chains as well and get themselves out of the drop zone moving forward. Next up, of course, we have the game of the day is Swansea, is Rovers. We'll have extensive coverage on the channel with a preview. We have, of course, combined 11. We'll chat with the away fans. We'll be there for a watch along, pre-game, vlogs, the whole shebang. We got it right here, right now. Coming at you at the Liberty Stadium. Played each other 11 times since 2011. 4 wins for Swansea, 3 for Rovers, and 4 draws as well. 1 win, though, in the last 6 for Swansea right now. 42% form up against the Rovers side. 3 wins on the bounce, 75% form moving forward. Biggest win for Rovers over Swansea. 3-1 win. The biggest win the other way. 3-0 win for Swansea. Swansea have scored 19 goals compared to Rovers 16 over the course of those 11 matches. Works out around about 1.73 goals a game for Swansea. 1.45 for Blackburn Rovers. Moving on, the last time played at Swansea was a 1-0 win for Swansea. Of course, and Rovers open up the camp with a 1-0 win over QPR. Swansea with a draw on the road to Rotherham. The odds here, 7-5 is your Swansea, 20-10 is your away win, and 9-4 is your draw. I'm going with the draw here. I know that might be a bit tinted with my blue and white glasses, but I've got to back the boys with an opening a couple of games as well. Coventry City, though, will take on Rotherham. That's into Sunday's action. 14 times they played since 2001. 6 wins for Coventry, 4 for Rotherham, 4 draws as well. Coventry, though, unbeaten the last 6 games. In fact, they've won 4 in the last 5. Of course, up against Rotherham side, who are unbeaten in the last 10, picking up 3 draws over the last 4 games, so 75% for moving forward. Biggest win for Rotherham over Coventry, 4-0 win, the biggest win of the way, 3-1 win. Coventry scores 15 goals in the last 14 games against Rotherham. Rotherham scoring 16 goals in those games as well. 1.07 goals a game on average for Coventry, 1.14 for Rotherham. Last time I played over at the Rico, or when Birmingham or when Coventry were hosts, it was a 3-1 win for Coventry back in December 2020. That was in the Championship. Meanwhile, Coventry opened up with a massive away point against Sunderland. Of course, Rotherham with their opening day point against Swansea City, of course, last time around at the New York Stadium. The odds, though, for this one, then, shall we? We have, what do we have? We have Coventry 4-3 on for the victory, 13-5 is your draw, 19-5 is your Rotherham United on this one. 1-0 win in the end for Coventry on this one. And then wrapping up. It's the Battle of the W's coming at you on Monday Night Football. It's Monday the 8th of August. It's West Brom. It's Watford. It's at the Hawthorn. Steve Bruce up against Rob Edwards in the dugouts. Played each other 26 times in 1993. 11 wins for West Brom, 6 wins for Watford, 9 draws as well. West Brom, though, coming to this unbeaten in the last 5, 6% for them, up against the Watford side, back-to-back wins for them. In fact, coming to this on 50% form. Winning 2, losing 2 and drawing 2. Biggest win for West Brom over Watford, 5-0 win. The biggest win in their way, 2-0 win. West Brom has scored 44 goals compared to Watford's 25 over the course of those 26 games. Works out around about 0.96 goals a game for the Hornets. 1.69 goals a game for the Baggies. Moving on, of course, last time round over at West Brom was a 2-2 draw. Back in the Premier League, it was in September 2017. Watford with their opening day 1-0 win over Sheffield United. Of course, West Brom with their opening day draw on the road to Middlesbrough. The odds here, 11-8 is your West Brom, 11-5 is your Watford, and 9-4 is your draw. Quite tight this one, but I'm going to give it to Watford here because they look good, didn't they, against Sheffield United, even though they were at home. But of course, I just think the trio up top will score a bucket load of goals. They're going to be a problem for a lot of us moving forward. But that, my friends, is that. And if I'm right, this is what the table will look like right here, right now. Watford leading the charge, Burnley up there as well, Rovers hanging on in it into 5th spot, but probably one of the surprise packages so far will be Birmingham up there in 4th. Don't forget, folks, to get involved with the Super Brew Prediction League. It is free to enter, not being paid by the bad boys. It's just a good bit of fun, and of course, a crazy amount of points on offering on the fantastic platform. But that, my friends, is just about that. Be sure to give it some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, smash your, of course, little bell, of course, to keep you bang up to date with everything coming at you on the channel. Like I said, for the Swansea game against Rovers, non-stop coverage right here at Blackburn Overseas, previews, chat with the fans, of course, combined 11, all that kind of stuff before the game, pre-game as well, and we go live for the watch along. And then after that, we've got the whole host of content as well. So make sure you check it all out. And we'll be back again for match number 3 right around the corner, folks. But until then, boys and girls, we're done right now.